So hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Just want to post a quick little sort of intro before we get into the video itself. This is the first video I've shot with the new GoPro Action Osmo 3. Must admit, I've been pretty impressed with it. Its low light capabilities are not particularly brilliant, but then when I'm working with an iPhone 13, which is what this is on now, that isn't particularly brilliant either. So the difference is negligible for me. It makes no odds that I'm using the iPhone this over the iPhone 13 in that respect. However, the fact that it's on my chest, on the chest harness, and it frees me up. I mean, it was just so much easier to film everything this morning. I must admit, I was really quite pleased with how it's all turned out. The footage looks good. Well, I think it looked good. You be the judge of that. But yeah, no, I'm really happy with how this has worked. So I think this will be the way forward for me, moving forward, making my videos. I might do a few pieces to camera in between. I didn't really get the gimbal out today. I didn't really try that today. But I was just enjoying the session, and it just felt like less pressure on me to get the video done. So I hope you enjoy the video, guys. We'll get straight to it. And let me, obviously, please like and subscribe. It helps me so much that you guys do that, and I appreciate everyone that does do that. Thank you very much, and enjoy the video. Well, morning everyone, and first video with the new setup. So I've got young Dave with me this morning. Say hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave. And as you can see, we're at Burnham on Sea low lighthouse. The tide isn't quite at the highest point yet. We're hoping it's just going to cover the leg section and then do maybe a nice long exposure shot, but I don't think we need to do much of a long exposure shot because the sea is flat calm, as you can see. Absolutely flat calm. Behind us is the start of the sunrise, and it is looking rather pretty. Whether that pushes onto the clouds over this side. Dave, don't go into the sea, mate. Dave's going for a swim. So yeah, this is obviously our subject matter this morning. We might go, or I might go into the dunes in a bit, see what's up in the dunes. I have got a nice shot from here in the past that I took in the dunes when the sun comes up, give me some really nice light. There's more cloud than we were expecting, isn't there? I thought. Oh, you're expecting a bit more? I was looking at. I use Clear Outside to predict the weather and stuff, but normally it's not incredibly accurate. But last night it was saying it was. Yeah. That's what I say, get out of the sea, mate. You've been 4 foot of water before you know it. So, yeah, the tide is coming in quite quickly, so I hopefully we'll get this thing in the water. It always looks better when it's in the water because it gives you more options for a more arty style shot. If not, well, it'll have some nice sunlight on it, and hopefully the colour in the sky that you can see over here will be in the clouds that you can see over in the distance in a bit. So we shall see. So anyway, I'm going to get the gear out, get myself set up on where I want to take my first shot, and we'll be back with you momentarily. Okay, so we got our first shot set up for the day. Just waiting for a bit more colour in the sky behind the lighthouse. But as you can see, you've got these two leading lines. The incoming tide on the left hand side and the tide line, so you've got all the seaweed and everything on the right hand side, which both sort of lead into the lighthouse itself. Bit of pink in the sky at the minute, nothing too spectacular, but it is colouring up quite nice. It looks nice and pastely actually. I don't know if this GoPro will pick that up. I hope it does. Yeah, we already got the contrails forming, which is slightly annoying, but hey ho.
got to just put up with them. And we've also got a little guest star over in just on the edge of the waterline here, a nice little gull. Hopefully he'll stay around for the picture. I don't want to walk into the scene yet because I don't want to put footprints all over this nice clean sand at the minute, although we have got I noticed we have got a few here, but nothing that I can't edit out in post. So yeah, so we're just going to bag this shot. I've got it at a quarter of a second. I'm at f8 and ISO 250, so I'm just going to use the screen, which I've only got as AF, so we need to switch that to that. There you go, and we'll focus on the lighthouse. And there you go, our first shot of the day. So we've moved around to the other side of it, just for the sunrise, I think. Yeah, I know, yeah. Oh, there you go, look. Bloody jet planes. But yeah, I mean, look at it, it looks beautiful. Those lovely wispy, like cotton wool clouds, but this here, in this section above the lighthouse, that is beautiful. Those long streaks of cloud in the sky, stunning. And the sun's about 4 minutes from rising, so that's going to burst into colour any second now. So we thought we'd just grab a shot this side. The tide's coming in quite quickly, as you can probably see. We're actually in the water now. I'll show you the shot I've got set up on the back of the camera. Oh, that works quite well. Yeah, so there you go. So that's the shot. I've got the lighthouse set up slightly to the right, so I can incorporate the clouds to the left a bit more. There seems to be more sort of colour in the cloud to the left. I was contemplating a long exposure, but I don't think it's going to really benefit this. There's not much action in the sea anyway, so the sea is fairly calm, and it's not completely covering the lighthouse either, so it doesn't really benefit from doing that at the minute. Yeah, so we're just going to wait for this sunrise to come up. We're going to grab the shots. If it's any good, I'll post it up now, and then we'll go on to the next shot. So we're on to our third composition now, and I've decided to go directly onto the lighthouse. So you've only got the three, so it looks like there's only 3 legs showing, and you've got the nice staircase leading up to the door. Obviously you've got a flat surface there, so, but look at the clouds in the background. Look how they're starting to light up now. This is going to hit up in a minute, and it's going to look pretty epic, so I'm quite excited. And you can also see the colour in the sea as well. That pastel pinks and purples is showing in the sea quite nicely. I just wish the tide line was a little bit higher, but sadly we've just got to work with what we got here at the minute. So yeah, this is potentially a nice shot. I think what I might do is I might hang around this spot for a little while and get a shot of that sky when it lights up, which will be probably in a few minutes, and then stay in this spot until that tide comes in and see if I can get a shot with the water, and then try and blend the two together in Photoshop or Lightroom, whichever way I decide to do it. It'll have to be Photoshop, won't it? And just see if that will work. It might not, because I might lose the colour of the water, but we'll see. It's worth experimenting. If not, it'll be a reasonable shot either way, but I don't think it's going to be a world beater. But that's not what it's about today. You know, as I said before, this is all about my mental health, and getting out today, it does it wonders. You know, end of a busy week, feeling a bit low, and yeah, chance to get down to the beach this morning, lovely. And it is a really nice day as well. You know, there's no wind. You know, we've got a nice bit of high clouds. Lovely people. There's lots of dogs on this beach, which I always like, because I always love dogs. And a lot of them are very friendly. They'll come up and say hello. Some of them don't like the tripod. They get a bit nervous of the tripod, but generally speaking, it's quite nice. Dave's found himself a bit of foreground interest there. You getting that log in the shot? You getting that log in the shot? Yeah, nice. Yeah, look at that colouring up now. We're going to start taking some shots here, I think, because that is colouring up nicely. Let's just make sure. Nikon, I wish you'd fix this. Every time this goes into standby, when it comes back on again, you've got to reset the timer, and it really does annoy me. It's the only thing I find really annoying about this Nikon camera. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, this is a Z6. This is the legendary Z6, which people... I posted on, I can't remember which group page it was, about how my mate Dave, who gave me this camera, he dropped it in a lake and literally couldn't find it for 30 minutes, and it was underwater for 30 minutes with no lens on it, and basically the thing still works. But someone didn't believe that and then posted it to another Facebook group, and a lot of people were saying that I was just basically making it up and it was a lie. And it's like, why would I lie about something like that? That's what happened. Dave says that's what happened. Why would you lie about it? It just makes no sense. But that's what social media is like. So yeah, so it's gained a bit of notoriety, this notoriety, that's the word I was looking for, this camera. But hey ho, people will be people. Yeah, so we're going to grab a few shots of this. Hopefully it's going to colour up. We're still not quite at sunrise yet, but yeah, when we are, you'll see the shot. Yes, I'm in the sea, and yeah, it's my boots are getting wet. I got these nice, what brand are these, Dave, our boots?
Oh gosh, I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but they're yeah, they're a nice brand, and they're very waterproof, great for walking around in the woods in. Maybe, huh?
Muck.
Oh, they're muck boots, yeah. Not so good for standing for long periods in Burnham on sea water. Anyway, Bristol Channel water, yeah. I've gone for a slightly different composition here. We've got these lovely clouds, very like wispy, feathery clouds going above the lighthouse at the minute, along with a great big jet. And just trying to get the shot, so the long exposure shot, so that the clouds are sort of streaking this way. So, and then obviously with the lighthouse pointing up towards it. I don't know if it's going to work. It might be a bit overexposed on the right hand side here, but I've got it down to as slow a shutter speed as I dare, so we'll just see how it turns out. So I'll just take my glasses off. I've decided to move away from the lighthouse a bit, and I've found this nice little composition, if you can see it there. And basically I've got this lovely little spit of land, beach even. So I've got this lovely little spit of beach sand, and it just leads off to where you can see the church in the far distance, about there. You got these lovely streaky clouds still overhead. This side of the water is where it's basically formed a little lagoon as the tide's coming in, is very still. And then obviously this side has got a bit of movement in it, but I've gone for a 30-second exposure here. I'm at f20, unfortunately. I lost my 10 stop. I think I broke it, so I'm having to make do with an ND64 polarizer and a 4 stop, which is kind of okay but not brilliant. I need to get another 10 stop at some point. Nissy, if you're listening. So this is a 30-second exposure, f20, ISO 100, and it just creates that nice, I love the leading line into the scene in the background. So you've got the Burnham on Sea beachfront there with a nice church. That church, anyone ever comes to Burnham, go and have a look at that church. It's incredible. It's like the Leaning Tower of Pizza. I don't know why it's not more famous, because it's really wonky. So I'm going to grab this shot, and then I'm probably going to move to somewhere else. I'm going to try somewhere else because the light's starting to go now. These will all be black and whites that I'm going to convert to, because there's not really much in the way of light. And yeah, and we'll see where we go later on today. So catch you in a bit. So after saying that I was done here, I have actually found another composition, which is quite nice actually. It's a square crop, and I'm actually, where the sand is getting wet now, it's actually getting a nice reflection on the beach. So I'm doing a long exposure again, just to smooth out the sea. And you've got this nice square crop, so I put the lighthouse smack in the middle of the shot. I've got the beach on one side and I've got the water on the other side, and obviously the sky above it. So we're just going to take this shot. If it turns out alright, I think this actually could be my shot of the day, because I quite like this composition, but we'll see. Anyway, let's see what we get. So we've I have going to do a bit of in-camera motion photography now. This always seems to work really well at the beach. That's, if I can just show you, I don't know if you can see that. That's just one I've just managed to get now. It's just moving slowish shutter speed, and then just focus, and then just move left to right as you take the shot. There you go, and you end up with a shot like that. Now, on the back of the camera, that looks absolutely fantastic, but we'll wait to see what it looks like when I get it on the computer screen at home. But yeah, that's quite a nice little, it's just something a little bit different, you know. The sun's up quite high now, the light's getting a bit harsh, but you've got this beautiful texture of the receding tide is leaving these lovely textures in the sand here. And with the blue of the sky reflecting in the water, I've got a polarizing filter on as well, so sort of highlighting, sort of boosting the blues and then those oranges as well, the yellows or oranges. That makes for a really nice little shot, and I just love the textured ridges going off into the distance there. So yeah, we're just going to grab a few more of these just to make sure I've got something I can work with, and we'll see what we end up with. That is a random onion. Don't ask me why. It's just a random peeled onion on the beach. I might even get a shot of it. So we found this random onion, and I must admit there's so many layers to this shot. I'm really finding it appealing.
Right, you're making me cry.
So much so it's making me cry. Yeah, there's a shot of an onion. Who knew?